I think we're going to have to multiply this one out first, so let's do that. Let's see, first and first will give us an r squared. First and last is positive 12r. The inner product is negative 2r. And then the last and the last, right, negative 2 times 12 is minus 24. That's equal to negative 4. So it is quadratic, right? We have a squared term. So let's get everything on the left side, say, and 0 on the right side. So we're going to get r squared. Now, 12r minus 2r is 10r. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm just going to bring this 4 over, right? I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So negative 24 plus 4 minus 20 equals 0. Now I'm going to identify A, B, and C. A is 1. A is the coefficient of the squared term, which is 1. B is the coefficient of the linear term, which is 10. And C is the constant, negative 20. Let's write the quadratic formula. Now I'll write r because that's our variable. So we'll get negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And substituting, we're going to get r equals negative b. So negative 10 plus or minus the square root of b squared. So 10 squared minus 4 times a, which is a 1, times c, which is a negative 20, all over 2 times a, so 2 times 1. And now we are at r equals negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 10 squared, we get 100. And then what have we got here? Negative, negative is positive. 4 times 20 is 80, all over 2. So we're at r equals negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 180 all over 2. Now, what can we do with this 180? I want to break it into two numbers, one of which I know the square root. So here's what I'm thinking. I've got this 180. I know the square root of 4, so I'm going to try that. Does 4 go into 180? Yeah, let's see. 4 will go into 18. 4 times, that's 16. Okay, 45 times. So here's what I have so far. 180 is 4 times 45. Now, can you break 45 into two numbers, one of which you know the square root? Yeah, it's a little bit easier now. That 180 is a pretty high number, but 45 I can see. How about 9 and 5? 9 and 5, and then that gives me 36. So it looks like we could have gone up to 36 into 180, but it's hard to see that 36. All right, so here's where we are then. That square root of 180 I can write as the square root of 36 times 5. So here's where we are. We're at r equals negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 36 times 5 all over 2. R is equal to negative 10 plus or minus. Now I'm just going to do this. Square root of 36 is 6. And then I'm left with that square root of 5. So I get 6 square root of 5 over 2. Both these numbers in the numerator have a 2 in them. So let's factor out that 2. So we'll get r equals, I'll take the 2 out, left with negative 5 plus or minus 3 square root of 5 over 2. And these 2's cancel. So we're going to be left with r equals negative 5 plus or minus 3 square root of 5.